Good evening, friends. Meeting again in the session of Materia Medica. And today we're going to learn one more important remedy from fourth year syllabus. That is the Valeriana officinalis. Valeriana officinalis is not considered to be well-proved drugs, and that's why many times missed in the prescription. But this remedy is a very important remedy which I have used for two important conditions. I have treated 2-3 cases of the sciatica with the help of this remedy. There was a lady, she was around in climacteric age. She was looking to be a hysterical. People have diagnosed that she has hysterical temperament, hysterical sciatica. But I was, when I found, I examined, I never considered that she is hysterical, but she was labeled as a hysterical woman in the climacteric period. And she had a very severe right-sided sciatica. Already she had consumed lot of treatment, she had investigated a lot, but nothing worked in her case. She had a very severe pain, and whenever she used to lie down and strikes to stretches her limbs, it used to get aggravated. She was not able to stand, and even she was, whenever she used to keep the feet on the floor, it used to get aggravated a lot. The only condition in which she was feeling better was the moving about, walking. So it looks very close to the rest talks. Aggravated during rest, amelioration by movement, it sounds to be a very close to rest talks. But important thing is that whenever she tries to stretches her limbs in lying down position, she used to get a very severe pain over there. That was interesting for me because this is something different. This is not rest talks. Yes, Rostox feels better by walking, aggravated by lying down. All those things were there. But whenever she tries to stretch the limbs, she used to get a very severe pain. Second important thing which she had mentioned was aggravation during the standing position. She was very sensitive lady. She was not able to tolerate the noise. She was a lady of a changeable temperament. Around 48, 49, and she was brought to me. All investigations, everything was done, nothing found abnormal and diagnosed as a hysterical sciatica. And she was treated even for the hysterical complaints with the tranquilizer, and that also never worked. But she was not showing the feeling. It was not feeling. She was really having the pain. So what I have done, I have repertorized her case. Instead of giving directly rush talks, because she had taken the homeopathic treatment from some practitioner, but it never worked, and most probably on the modalities he might have given the rush talks and it never worked. So I considered better to repertorize, and when I opened the repertory and repertorized her rubrics, I found this remedy. I will share the chart with you. This was interesting for me that I have never considered that Valeriana will come, but the rubrics which I have considered, that hysteria, climacteric period in extremities, pain, sciatica, sciatic nerve right stretching aggravates, pain in sciatic nerve right. Then she was very sensitive to pain, so there is a cross reference in complete repertory. Sensitive pain to, that is pain aggravates. Then last rubric was very important, pain, sciatic nerve, right, stretching legs aggravated and standing aggravates. Foot of affected side, keeping on chair ameliorates. So through and through, it found to be a Valeriana. So I have considered better to start her with the Valeriana. Valeriana 200 I have given and repeated. Along with, I asked her to take a complete rest for at least for a week and show me after a week. Along with that, yes, definitely I have used the Kali phosphoricum as a good remedy which covers the neuralgic pains in biochemic. So 6x Kaliphos I have given, and this Valerian I have continued. I have told her that she might require lumbar traction, but actually the disc problem was not shown in the MRI, and that's why I have avoided. I asked that take the rest and all those things. But even though she used to get aggravation during rest, but I have suggested it's better to take rest because it subsides the nerve root edema if it is there. And after a week, to my surprise, when she came, she was very happy. She said that after a long period, I used to get a good sleep because earlier I used to get whenever I used to lying down, I used to lie down, but this time it has worked. The day I have started medicine, next day I was able to sleep and I used to sleep very good. And her pains, nearly about 90 to 95% pains vanished after the valeriana. So it is a wonderful remedy to be think of in cases of right-sided sciatica where modalities are very close to the Rustox, but Rustox is not the remedy. Then think about the Valeriana specifically for this. And the modalities are marking guide in selection of the remedy. Second thing where I have used this remedy was the again my first remedy failed. It was a typical vomiting of a child after consuming the milk, and it was in curdled form. So common thing which used to mm, comes in our mind is always an Ethisia synapium. So I have given Ethisia synapium, that vomiting never stopped. It was persistent next day. And I was considering what's wrong with the remedy because it was very typically curdled milk which was thrown away, and same happens to be there in the stool. So what is wrong? And when I asked the details, then that mother has explained something very important. She said, Doctor, the child was normal. He was eating everything. Everything was fine. But still, that child is consuming my milk. She is breastfed. And the day before yesterday, I had a lot of fights with our family members, and I was tremendously angry. And thereafter, once I paid the my child, thereafter he started getting this. This was involuntarily came. So it was having an interest. So I checked which is the remedy. I was knowing that convulsions after the fits of anger in the mother after breastfeeding, the convulsions in the child, that Naxomica, Chamomila, these are the remedies which I was knowing. But I was not knowing that the curdle vomiting happens to be there after fit of anger in the mother. So I was checking the things and I've got the Valeriana again. That was one of the important point which was differentiating Ethusia synapium from the Valeriana. So I have given Valeriana 33 doses and I asked that show me tomorrow morning. And again the Valeriana worked so wonderfully that even after first dose only the vomiting stopped and even no more diarrhea. And next day when child was brought, he was absolutely in a good condition. The irritability was settled, everything was fine and looking normal. So Valeriana is a wonderful remedy for these types of conditions, a very hysterical remedy. So we're going to read it from Alinsky notes. We'll understand the Valeriana, how it has been mentioned. This remedy was proved by Dr. Staff, who is the direct student of the Hahnemann. So it is from the Valerianaceae family. Valerian is the common name. Excessive nervous excitability. Very nervous. Nervous here means on the tip of their nerves. They are very excitable, very active, very sensitive. Nerves are very sensitive. That's why nervous. The hysterical nervous temperament, like Ignatia, like pulsatilla, this is the one of the important remedies to be think of. Persons in whom the intellectual faculties predominate. They are quite intellectual. They are not generally they are females, but it is not always the female. They are also males also, where intellect is dominating, changeable disposition. So moods are quite changeable. So it is variable. So this is the mental state of the person explained by Allen in the first paragraph. That mental state associated with sciatica, that mental state associated with GI disturbances. One must think about the Valeriana. The red parts becomes white like perum, feels light as if floating in the air. So there is this is very important thing which has been mentioned with the Valerian, that is called as the levitation. The levitation is nothing but the floating sensation of floating in the air. That typical future is there, like asaram, like lec caninum. As if legs were floating is the stricta pulmonalis. Oversensitiveness of all senses. This remedy comes very close to the Naxvomica. This remedy comes close to the Chamomilla, oversensitivity. Sensation of great coldness in head. So that is typical feature of the Valeriana. If it is on the vertex, the sepia and veratrum, these are the remedy. Sensation as if thread were hanging down in the throat. So inside the throat, there is sensation as if something is hanging down. Valeriana, if it is on the tongue, it is natrum and silicia. The next feature is very, very important. The child vomits curdled milk in large lumps, same in stools like ethuja, as soon as it has nursed after the mother has been angry. Given in italics. Underline this. This is the key of the Valeriana. Very important key, specifically when you use this remedy in children for such type of vomiting. Then second important feature one must consider is the sciatica. The sciatica pain is aggravated by standing and letting the foot rest on the floor like belladonna. Sciatica when strengthening out the limbs during the rest from previous exertion. So sciatica has many modalities, right? And right-sided sciatica. It has been not written over there, but add it over there. It is the right-sided sciatica. Valerian is not mentioned under the sciatica left. Ameliorated sciatica is ameliorated when walking. This goes in favor with the rustox. So see, remedies which comes closer to this is the rustox, then chamomilla, then axomica, then ethuja synapium. Relationship, compare the asafoetida hysterical remedies, asaram for the sensitivity, the crocus again the sensitivity and hysteria, ignatia hysteria, laccan shifting of the pains, then spigelia sulfur. For the abuse of chamomilla tea, the valeriana is one of the important remedy mentioned by even by the Murphy. For pains in the heels, agaricus causticum, then cyclamen, then ledum, the manganum, and lastly the phytolacca. These are the remedies one must compare for the pain in the heel. So valeriana is a very important remedy specifically for the sciatica, right-sided sciatica, where modalities are very close to the rustox, aggravation by rest, aggravation by lying down, aggravation by stretching the limbs, aggravation by keeping the foot on the floor, aggravation by standing, and amelioration by continued walking. And for the vomiting, the curdled vomiting after a fit of anger in the mother before breastfeeding. So that's all about the Valeriana. One must study this remedy from different books so that you will going to utilize 30-200 potencies, the best potencies to be utilized in this Valeriana. So wonderful remedy in practice. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow with some other remedy. Good night.
Thank you very much, sir.